You remember how much red-purple law dominated the meta in OP7? Here is its counterpart. Now, it's nowhere near as strong, it's not as fun, it's not as complex. Red-purple Kid. It sounds just like Kid if you've seen the anime, and I'm excited to play the deck today, even though I hate the character himself. Mainly just an aggro deck, you just go Dawn -1, gain 2000, and swing in heavy at your opponent. You're just a red-purple Yamato at this point. Straight face is the only place. Let's test out Kid today on the sim. Let's get into the deck profile and have some fun. Here is our leader and our deck profile. If you have 4 or more life, this leader has -1000 power. Now this is only on your turn, not when your opponent attacks you, so keep that in mind. And then when attacking Dawn -1, this leader gains plus 2000 power for this turn. So it's almost like if we could attack multiple times in a turn through other effects, this card could be really strong because it doesn't say once per turn. So I think you're going to see where this is going in the deck profile. We are running 2 of the Otama. Now this is a very interesting list. I'm going to start it off with saying that right now. This is a very interesting list. It's a control-oriented aggro build thing going on, and I'm excited to try it. Otama, give up to one of your opponent's characters -2000 power, plus it's a 2k counter. One of the most important red 2k counters out there next to the new Tony Chopper. We're running 3 of the 10-drop Shanks, which KOs any character with a power of 10,000 or less. We're running 3 of the Dragon, which is just a rush option, and then gives 2 rested Dawn to one of your leaders or characters. So with our leader effect on an 8 Dawn turn, we're 9/9, straight to face, no other place, as we say. Then we're running 4 of the Silver's Rayleigh, one of the most iconic red cards in the game. Choose up to 2 of your opponent's character. One gets -3k, one gets -2k, and then KO a 6000 power or lower character. We're also running a Ben Beckman as a 1-of. Running 4 of the Bon Clay. Ben Beckman KOs trashes at 6000 power or less. I didn't mention that, but no Ben Beckman. You know Bon Clay, ramp a Dawn, and then this becomes the power of one of your opponent's characters when attacking. Running 3 of the Eustace Captain Kidd, and Tizzy's getting in the way, so we can't even read the character effects. It's a blocker, and then you ramp a Dawn. So when you go Dawn -1, you ramp a Dawn as active, so it's very, very strong for a deck like this. Kamazo KOs a 2 cost or lower character, and it's 2k counter. When you go Dawn -, we have Scarlet Pudding, which ramps a rested Dawn. When Kid ramps an active Dawn, she rests a rested Dawn. Running Killer, which is a card that says Dawn -1, choose one of your Kid Pirates type and activate it. So basically, you set your Kid Pirates type leader as active, so you swing in, Dawn -1, you're swinging pretty heavy, and then you swing in Dawn -2, and yeah, you're very, very, very heavy. So I'm excited to try this out today. We're also running, to finish off our 2k counters, the Uso Hachi. If you have 8 or more Dawn, rest up to one of your opponent's 5 cost or lower characters, helping us get through some annoying chump blockers at the end of the game. To get into our events, we are running the new EB02 events. These are very strong in a deck like this that's kind of off meta. I think that's the biggest thing, is it adds consistency to off meta decks like this, where we are running a bunch of unsearchable options up here for our top end, as well as some great 4 cost to 5 cost you may need, and they're not generically similar at all. So really strong stuff right here. Looks at the top 4 and reveal 1 cost 4 or more character or card and add it to your hand. Then place the rest on the bottom in any order. Running Hell's Judgment, Dawn -1, give up to 2 of your opponent's leaders or characters -3000 power. 3 of the 0 cost Gum Gum Jet Gatling, which is very strong, turning any of these non-counter cards into a 3k counter with this card. Running 3 of the Punk Rotten, which says choose up to one of your leaders or characters with the Kid Pirate site, give it plus 5000 power. So you tap 2 Dawn, you Dawn -1 of the 2 you tap, you put 3 Dawn on your leader, so now you're in a, 18k, you do Dawn -1, now you're 15k, you tap 5 for Killer, you swing in 15 and 17, I think if my math's right, so kind of crazy stuff right there with Punk Rotten on a 10 Dawn turn. And then finally we're running God Thread, which helps us ramp a Dawn and removal as it removes 5 cost or lower characters. I hope these explanations make sense, man. It's too late for me, and I'm barely making sense to myself. Like I said, this is an aggro strategy, and I'm so excited to test it out in the EB02 format. So I hope you guys enjoy. As always, like, subscribe, join the One Piece family, push the algorithm. Liking and commenting pushes it for me, so it takes you to support me, and I appreciate it oh so much. So let's get into some games. Let's start off against Blue Buggy. You guys know I play Blue Buggy, so this will be a fun one here. They choose to go first, so we're going second. We will keep this hand just because we have the brand new world, and we have the pudding for the turn after. So we'll keep this. It's going to be very strong. We're also going to be able to ramp up very actively with the God Thread, being able to remove a 5 cost or lower character, and we're not too worried about swinging in with 4 cost against this deck, so that's going to be really good. Let's look at the top. We can go into 4 here, play Bon Clay, ramp a Dawn active, swing in, but I think we're going for the pudding, and then I think we'll take the 10-drop Shanks. This is going to be good removal for later. Rayleigh was also a great option there, but I don't think we're too worried about it at the moment, so I think we already have a Rayleigh. We don't need 2. It would help us just because we can, you know, take more aggressively or do our thing as we do. We'll definitely take this life, so there we go. We got another 8 cost anyways. We wouldn't have needed it, so that's going to be very good for what we're trying to do, as I said. We're not too worried about swinging in aggressively here because they're going to take no matter what. So I'm just worried about some kind of trigger with this character. So we'll have to see if that does end up happening. We're going to Dawn -1, ramp the Dawn back, and hope they don't get it. They do take the life there, which is really good. It's kind of what we expected anyways. I was just worried about a Gravity Blade, a Red Rock, something like that. That would really mess up our feng shui we got going on over here. So we do have God Thread for this turn, which is going to be very good. We're going to go and take this life as well, getting a killer in hand, and we're going to ramp aggressively. So KO 5 cost, and then gain an active Dawn. So now we have 2 Dawn active, and I don't even think we really need to. I mean, we can swing in with the pudding. No, we can't, because Buggy. I guess we're just swinging 9, because I don't want to use this event just yet. It's kind of a waste, and it's more of a finisher than anything. So we'll use our leader effect here, just swing in for 9, because we ramped the Dawn for free, so we might as well. We are going into 9 Dawn on this next turn. So we've ramped faster than our opponent because of this God Thread and not losing any Dawn from our Charlotte Pudding. Very, very good stuff. They grab a Crocodile from the top of the deck. They only have 6 Dawn, so they should swing in for 6 here, which we will give them a 2k counter. Yep, they play down the Daz Bones. Now they have almost the ability to 10-drop on us next turn. And then swing in. We are going to counter this with the Kamazo very aggressively. And we need to kind of control this board a little bit. That's where Rayleigh comes in very strong here. We could go Dragon and really go aggressive, but with the opponent we're going against, we definitely should pop the Daz Bones. So -3, -2, pop the Daz Bones. We didn't have a way to pop Buggy anyway, so that's kind of okay with what we're trying to do. We can do that on the next turn because we will be going into 10 with -1 Dawn, ramp 1 back, swing in for 8. They should take again very aggressively. They get the Cross Guild, so they get to look at the top 4 and grab a Cross Guild type character. They grab a Crocodile, and we pass. Now, they're not in the spot to do the 10-drop and the Crocodile here, so that's very good for what we're trying to do. We're not too worried about this Buggy, honestly, because, again, we could swing in with Pudding, but we don't need to swing in with Pudding. We also do have Punk Rotten and Killer in hand, so we have the finishing Wombo combo. We just need to continue to take resources from our opponent. I don't even know if mitigating their board is the strongest option right now, because we're not too stressed about what's going on. Now, that Rayleigh would look really good right now, but I'll take the 10-drop. It's going to be what it is. And should we counter out of this? We kind of need to. They only have... No, they have another swing if they want to. We'll use this trigger, look at a card, and grab something 4 cost or higher. It's going to have to be another killer, so they do have the awareness now that we have a killer in hand. Granted, we now have 3. We'll go ahead and give him the killer, so he thinks maybe he doesn't have another one. Now, a good player would know they definitely have another one, but that's hearsay. That's hearsay. Who knows? I think we do just drop down the Shanks, pop the character. Is that the best option, or is it better to go for resources in hand? Because we can finish the game. Because we could give 2 Rested Dawn to, you know, we could drop Dragon, give 2 Rested Dawn to our leader, and just really remove this Crocodile. But then that would force them to use 10 Dawn to remove resources next turn. I kind of like that, rather than just removing a board outright. Getting a 10k, 12k body, but not getting any value out of it because they will 10-drop this next turn. Yep, Dragon is the better move here. So we're going to go ahead and swing in 9 at the Crocodile. They should just let this go, because if not, we have a lot more swings coming in at it. We'll have at least another 9, and then probably a 10k if they really, really want to get out of it. And I think they should have a 5-cost character coming onto the board next turn, and then a 5 or a 10-drop Buggy after that. So should play down a Daz Bones or something that filters, and then continue on. And they choose not to take anymore, which is very, very smart by our opponent. I will just say that straight up. We're gonna swing in for 9. We're gonna swing in for 9. Misclick and a half. We're gonna go ahead and swing in for 9 more. Ramp the Dawn back just because we can. No reason not to. And then they do counter out aggressively. So low on resources in hand with only 6. I think we're just going to be able to finish them next turn with the Punk Rotten. They do play to the Daz Bones just as expected. Now they should tap 5 here for leader effect, put a 10-drop on the board, bottom deck. This is exactly as we saw it. This is exactly how we scripted this. This is exactly what we needed. So 6 and 7 are coming after us, and we know we're going to finish the game next turn guaranteed based off the math. So they have no blocker on board. We could just take aggressively, which I'm going to just do because I don't want any chance of them doing any shenanigans. I'm really not stressed about this board. I'm not stressed about the game. We are literally going all out this next turn. So I hope you guys are excited to see how to finish the game with Eustace Captain Kidd. They don't have any more swings because they played both these characters this turn, so we just take, and even if they did, we could counter out. So this is where the game finishes. We go tap 2, Dawn -1, plus 5,000. Sure, I'll ramp it back, might as well, and then we'll put 3 Dawn on our leader. I'm not even going to use Rayleigh here, by the way. We're going to swing in for 13. Oh wait, that's 15, and he didn't even let us do it. He had 6k counter in hand, he didn't even let us do it. This guy is so annoying. I'm kind of frustrated because that was going to be the coolest finish ever with the killer and doing exactly what we needed to do, swinging in for 17 in our opponent to finish the game. Well, now we're going to be taking on green, purple Luffy. This is a deck you have to be able to beat. We have two of our options already. I think we're going to keep this hand. Hope they don't have the Going Merry because we can pop it with God Thread if they play a Sanji Pudding. So we'll keep this hand just in case. It's going to be very strong if we can. Obviously, if we can't, no hard feelings. It's kind of part of the game we play. We don't have a 2-cost event to search early, but that would mean that there's a higher likelihood of it being in life. And I would love to see that trigger out. They go ahead and use a searcher, looking at the top 3 cards, grabbing a 2k counter. And I think we just pass turn here. Nothing to play. We do have Hell's Judgment, but definitely not worth using Hell's Judgment this early in the game. I think they're just going to swing 8 at us, and we're going to take. They go ahead and play down a Nami, looking at the top 5 to grab a Straw Hat Crew type character or card. Can you grab only characters or cards? Some are so specific, so just card. They go ahead and grab that Sanji Pudding we were talking about. They don't have a Going Merry on the board just yet, which is very good. Going Merry is a stage that rests itself and then adds 2 costs to one of your characters on the board. So that would make this Sanji Pudding a 7 cost, unable to remove it with God Thread, which would be very bad for what we're trying to do. Now they shouldn't have a trigger that gets rid of Charlotte Pudding, which is very important because we are going to be playing Charlotte Pudding on this next turn. And they swing in for 7. No Going Merry. We like to see it. So now we have a dragon, and we're going to be able to control this board while swinging in very aggressively. I'm loving it. I sound like a McDonald's commercial because I am loving it. We're going to go Dawn -1, swing in for 7, ramp 1 back. That's going to be a very strong curve there. Going into 6 Dawn on our next turn, getting 2 back again, leaving 2 active for Hell's Judgment in case they do find a way to spam the board out, and then just continuing the game from there, because then we'll be on what? We're going 4 to 6, and then we'll go Dawn -1 for Hell's Judgment. We'll ramp 1 with God Thread. We should be chillin'. They counter out very aggressively here, which I think is kind of smart against an aggro deck like this, but to each their own. They could just go 5 for Sanji Pudding, which we know they're going to play that this turn. You have to with a leader like this. I actually think the Zoro was a good play too, honestly, just keeping that on board just to rest down the Charlotte Pudding of our own as they play the Sanji Pudding. So they restand 2 Dawn, ramp 1 is active with the Sanji Pudding effect. Very good stuff by our opponent. Now, we can KO this character as long as they don't have a Going Merry still. Again, Going Merry is the one thing we don't want to see right now because we want our God Thread to be able to KO the Sanji Pudding. Because we do... Oh, no, we're equal Dawn, so the Going Merry, I think you have to have less Dawn than your opponent. 8 into face, we will take aggressively. They may leave 1 active. Very interesting stuff right there. We're going to go ahead and play it on the God Thread, pop the character, and gain an active Dawn. We have 2 additional Dawn, but we don't need it. We're going to go ahead and swing in for 6, force a 2k out of hand, get rid of that Sanji that we did see earlier. You'll see them drop it right. Wait, did they already drop it? They did already drop it, so they're going to take this one. They are going to take this one. There's no reason to counter out. They do counter out, and I kind of like to see it here. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We could even swing in for another 6 with the Charlotte Pudding because we don't really need it at this point because we are going into 9 Dawn. And once we hit 9 Dawn, we should be pretty safe. So let's be aggressive here and swing in for another 6 at this point. I think this is a good option because basically it's like they counted out for 2 for no reason. So I kind of like that. So we'll go ahead and swing in very aggressively. They have 6 cards or 6 Dawn. So that's going to be very good for our opponent. I keep saying very good, and I should probably stop saying it. They played on Zoro to search the top 5 cards of the deck for a Straw Hat Crew type. They grab another Sanji Pudding. They can go Dawn -2 and stand 2 as active, but that means they cannot play Sanji Pudding, so it's very good for what we're trying to do. They could just blast Charlotte Pudding on our board out of the waters, and we're okay with that. We do not need it anymore, so I think I'm honestly just gonna... I'm just gonna let it go. I think so, because we're only going Dawn -1 in this next turn. I think we just let it go. We're going to play down Unky the Dragon right here. And then, yeah, swing in for 9 and 9. Leave 1 active for who knows what, but I'm really feeling it. We'll give the 2 rested Dawn. We're going to go ahead and swing in for 9 with Dragon first, just to not let them know our next move of going in for another 9, because that's obviously what we're going to do. When we go Dawn -1, we'll leave this 1 active just to bluff some kind of event. We'll leave 2 active later for the Hell's Judgment, of course, and then we're going to be able to play the useless Captain Kidd on this next turn. Ramping Dawn is active. We do have Punk Rotten to really finish a game. We're swinging in very aggressively. We're just going to swing all out. There's no reason to even fake anything. If they did have a Gum Gum Giant, I'd rather swing in for 10. Go ahead and put them down to only 1 life. Now, they do go ahead and use the Gum Gum Giant. That's kind of what I wanted to force out, so it's going to be a card out of hand. Then they get to draw 2 cards. They lose 2 Dawns. They're going down to 6 Dawn on the next turn, and then they get to draw 2. They have to give us a 2k on top of this, which is an Usohachi. Really good stuff right there. I'm glad we swung in the extra. We've already seen 1, 2, 3 2ks out of our opponent here, so we have to keep that in mind for late game. They do play down the Sanji Pudding. We saw them search up last turn, so they can go Dawn -2. They'll have 4, so they should have 5 Dawn after this, I believe. If I'm correct, is my math wrong? It is wrong. They should have 4 Dawn after this. That's going to be totally okay with us. So they can swing in at us. We could take 1, counter out of 1, and then play the board how we need to. They go ahead and play down Sanji for 3, a 6k blocker. That's going to be very strong for our opponent, because the 6 cost is something we cannot touch right now unless we top deck a 10-drop Shanks, which if we get a 10-drop Shanks, we're getting rid of Sanji Pudding. We're not getting rid of a blocker, because a blocker will get rid of itself when we swing in very aggressively at our opponent. They should leave the 1 Dawn active. We will counter out of one of these swings with a Kamazo. Kamazo not doing much in this matchup at all, so definitely a good idea here. And then I think we could just take this. We have a lot of counter, and we'll go ahead and use that trigger, and then we'll grab a 10-drop Shanks. I mean, that's exactly what we asked for. We got what we wanted. I'm cool with that. So we'll pop the Sanji Pudding again. We'll swing in for 7 at face. Go ahead and force 1 card out of hand. I think that's going to be the best option here. So 10-drop Shanks, pop, swing in for 7 at our opponent pretty easily, just because 7 is more pressure here, and then we can go 9 into the board if we need to, or 9 into face. So they don't have any active Dawn for a Gum Gum Giant. If they can't counter out, we're going to swing the 9 in, get the blocker out of them. Either way, we're removing a 6k body. So with them taking that, we know we can swing face here, because this is going to be the most underlying pressure. Either we get the blocker or 2 cards out of hand. We still have an amazing amount of counter ourselves, and we do get the 6k off the board. So either way, we got a 6k, and I think that was the best option altogether. So just to give you guys the idea of why we swung in the way we did, because swinging face first puts the pressure on life, which finishes the game, and then we can choose to go into the board or not. So if he blocked out of that swing, we could have continued in at the board. So it's always the math kind of in that side of things. So just keep these things in mind as you continue your own games and continue to be a better player. They're going to have 5 Dawn here after they ramp 1 more with Sanji Pudding. This time they actually have the 5 Dawn we were talking about. So should play down a 4-cost character more than likely. 3-cost blocker Nico Robin's going to be a great option for our opponent. I like the idea, but I think it's just not enough at this point. They're probably going to leave 2 Dawn active for Gum Gum Giant. Looks exactly like that. We'll go ahead and give them an additional 2k counter from hand. And then we could go all in right now. I'm just saying. We literally could go all in. We could go 2, 5, but that doesn't guarantee us a win, does it? Let's go ahead and swing. Let's swing 10 and 12 and see what they choose to do here. I think that will give us the best options on if we want to use a blocker or not. I like 10 just because it doesn't get them out with a Gum Gum Giant for free. It forces an additional card out of hand. So if we do want to Punk Rotten, we can. So it depends on how they choose to use their blockers. If we swing in for 10, they use Gum Gum Giant, and they go down to, what, 4 cards in hand after this because they draw the 2. Now they'll go down to 5 cards, right? And that's okay with us. And then I think it's just math after this if they cannot counter out of this. Now, they could have used the Gum Gum Giant, which could suck. That could be bad, so maybe it's not best to go for game right now, force them in the position to go for game. So looks like they want to keep this blocker on the board. That's really good information, so we know we're not going in with the Punk Rotten here. So they discard another card, they go down in Dawn. They're only going to have 4 Dawn next turn, so we just need to be able to survive 4 Dawn across 3 character swings, and they have to get in all the way. So the safest option here, they couldn't even get out of it at the end of it. Wow, they had to take the gamble there though. What we could have done was play down the Kid for 5, swing in, ramp the Dawn as active, correct? So then we have 4, we ramp 1 with Kid, so we have 6, and then we could tap 2 to search the top of the deck, tap 2 for the Hell's Judgment, and then literally just that was it. We'd still have 2 additional Dawn in case we wanted to fake another Hell's Judgment, but we were completely safe there, guys. GG's to our opponent, Red Purple Kid on top. I mean, I'm just saying, if you can beat the meta, you can beat anything. So we're seeing an aggro strategy right here. We've already played a mid-range deck. We're playing, into kind of everything here. I think we're going to keep this hand. We're going against aggro. We played against mid-range with green-purple. We played against a setup deck 4. So we're going to search the top of the deck. We're going to grab a Ben Beckman, I think, in this situation, just in case they play out Kiki Nojo. It's going to be a very good option. We're going to be a 5k leader here. They're going to swing in for 7. We're going to take very aggressively. Just the usual kind of Arlong stuff. So next turn, we're probably going to Bond Clay. They do have a Jewelry Bonnie. Jewelry Bonnie being very strong. It looks like we're going to Charlotte Pudding instead, actually. So I'm cool with that. We're going to swing in for 7 on our opponent. Dawn -1, ramp it back. Go ahead and give me that. Give me that. I want that back. So they should just take, honestly, looking for a trigger. They don't find one, so we pass our turn, and they do have the Bonnie on the board. So they can just swing 8 at us, draw 2, trash 1. It's going to be very strong. The Bonnie is very good in this deck if you're not playing as aggressive, and they are playing aggressive. So I like it either way. I like what we're doing here. I think we are going to take this because it's not worth countering out, giving them this many cards from hand. We get another 2K counter. They get cards in hand themselves. And if they choose to swing in the Jewelry Bonnie, we're cool with that too. But of course they won't, because you shouldn't in a deck like this. We could play down Bon Clay, go into 7, swing in both ways. But this is not going to be very strong against our opponent and what they do. Next turn, we could Rayleigh or Beckman, depending on what we want. So the question is, do we need to ramp into 9? Not really. So I guess a blocker is a better option, and will ramp us back to Dawn anyway. So probably going for the blocker here over the Bon Clay. So we're going to play this down. We're just going to swing in aggressively at our opponent. We're not going to swing in with a pudding. We could, but we don't need to. We're going to ramp and ramp. We could have had 2 active Dawn, but it would not do anything here. They get to cook Kiki Nojo out of life. That's going to be wild here. So we're definitely going to be taking some life here. Go ahead and give our opponent their leader effect or their draw 2, trash 1. We're going to find a dragon, and we need to find a way to really control this board. So we're definitely going to do that. Keeping this pudding active is going to be very good for us. So it's like they may swing in for 8 after this. So we can definitely block in 2K and then 2K, if I'm correct. I'm going to get them to try to swing my board here. I want this kid gone. I know that sounds stupid, but I definitely kind of want this kid gone. So they go ahead and swing 8 at us. So we're going to give them 2 1Ks. They choose for our leader not to be able to swing this next turn. That's wild. Very strong stuff from our opponent. We're going to go ahead and go 2-1-1, 2-1-1. Go ahead and get out of that swing right there as well. So I was trying to force him in at our blocker. Obviously, that did not go through. We're going to have to play down a Rayleigh here because we really need to control the board itself. So we're going to go -3 to Arlong, -2 to Kiki Nojo, and we're going to try to swing in at the Kiki Nojo. We don't have a way to go Dawn -1. That's the only issue here. Now, we could Punk Rotten, ramp a Dawn. Let's think about that real quick. Ramp 2 Dawn back, so we get 1 as active, and then we could still play down the 8 cost. Yeah, that actually sounds like a good option here. Just to guarantee we clear one of these bodies rather than having the chance of not clearing it. But then we lose our blocker on the board. I'm trying to think if there's a way to go. We could go Beckman for 7. There's not really a way to really control the board and stay alive, so I'm trying to figure it out, guys. Sorry about this. So we could go Punk Rotten, -2, and then go Dragon, swing in for 6. This Arlong really cooked us, guys. This Arlong really cooked us. Because even if we go -3, -2, and then pop a character, they gain life. The game's not close to over after that, because we'd have to swing in with a blocker, and they have 3 swings on the board. We can't really stay alive. So I'm trying to math this out. We need to go... I think the Rayleigh's just the best option. No, because then we only have 1 swing in, but we do get to control the board a little better. -3, -2, pop the Arlong, swing in for 4 at Kiki Nojo, and then we're going to swing in for... I wish we could swing with our leader. Dude, that Arlong came in clutch for our opponent. They definitely give us a card here. There's no doubt about it. And then probably 2 2Ks out of hand for the Useless Captain Kid swing. I don't even know if we can afford to swing the Useless Captain Kid. That's the only issue. I don't even know if we can afford to swing it. It depends on, obviously, if they let this go or not. They, of course, don't. So it would be like having a blocker anyways, but having a blocker forces them to go lower Dawn counts, not just math it out perfectly. We only have 2K counter in hand, guys. This might just be over. I think we just have to pass. I think we literally just have to pass there. That's awful. That is horrible. We also showed them we don't have 2K counters. We didn't have a way to hold up the Hell's Judgment and put some bodies on the board. So I think we really needed the Hell's Judgment there. They say this Useless Captain Kid cannot rest itself thanks to the Arlong, so we should have swung in anyways apparently, and they can continue to gain value. So they're going to swing in for 7. Yeah, this is going to be just a simple math win unless we get some kind of crazy trigger. Oh my gosh. Gain 1 active Dawn. Hold up, we may be cooking. This might have been the trigger of our lifetime. This may literally be the trigger of our life. We're gonna give them the Ben Beckman here, and then we're gonna Hell's Judgment if we need to. And then we're gonna go in with Punk Rotten and Kid Killer and try to finish the game. I guess we go ahead and use the Punk Rotten, because if we don't and they swing in 9 at us, we can't get out of it. So we might as well go ahead and no blocker, Dawn -1, -3, -3, resolve attack. So now they have to swing our Charlotte Pudding here. Now they could obviously just swing face. I could understand that. Face is the place, as they say. I think we're just gonna have to find a way to win this game. They only swing in for 4 here. We could counter out aggressively, but I think we're gonna need this killer for the next turn to win the game. Oh, they played on the blocker. We're definitely gonna need the killer now. So that's the issue, because we can't really go in with pudding. I'd much rather go in with our leader with the effect here. So, oh, Shirahoshi as well. There's no way. There's no way to do this. He actually can't even swing in either. So there's not really a way we don't just lose next turn without clearing up the whole board, right? So we need to find a way to clear the whole board. So what we can do is, if we dragon though, they just use the blocker. We can't punk Rotten. We don't have a blocker of our own. We have to go for the board here. That's the worst part, because they can just block, and then leave one body. We don't have a way to restand them for 2 Dawn, because Punk Rotten just doesn't work that way. So they counter out anyways. It doesn't really matter. We have the additional Dawn, but I'm leaving it up just in case we get a Hell's Judgment out of life somehow and we were able to survive. They're just going to be able to block here. So great job by our opponent. There's not much we could do. So we actually could have swung in for 1 additional Dawn on the Silver's Rayleigh, but he probably could have countered out with an additional 1k. So it's not much of an issue for our opponent. We're going to go and do this, gain 1 active. So now we have 3 active Dawn. We can try to bait him in with something. We do have a blocker on the board and 3k counter. We're looking for a Hell's Judgment out of life. Fingers crossed for a Hell's Judgment out of life. They play Hody Jones. They rest 2 of our Dawn. We have 1 Dawn active, so Hell's Judgment doesn't do anything for us. They're going to swing in for 7. They shouldn't cheat out of a body here unless it's something that... Yeah, that was a waste. That would have been crazy, though. And then they can just swing in for 6, counter, and then 6, counter. Crazy part here, crazy thing, if we play Blast Breath right here, we don't lose. Hey, GG's Arlong. That was a fun game, very close fight. There's definitely different ways to play that matchup. I think you have to play a little less aggressive than I did, but being an aggro deck, I was trying to play our aggro strategy as we committed to, so we committed a little early to that strategy. It didn't work out, but that was a fun matchup for sure. We're going to be testing out Arlong this week, so I hope you're excited for it in the EB02 format. That's going to be it for Useless Captain Kid. Comment down below if you enjoyed that deck list, if you enjoyed the channel, or just have any ideas for future videos for the channel. I want to do some original stuff, so please comment some fun ideas down below. I will also start streaming very soon, so I will drop my info, my schedule. I'll drop my schedule in the Discord. You can join that down below, and you can see our full schedule, and I'll have it in future videos for you guys to join in on some live streams. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.